So we're going to continue with where we left off on the last video. We have these set, and now I want to create them as part of the drawing. I want to blend them into memory. Now, this thing that says include symbol groups, well, the tree's a symbol. You can't snap to the points on the tree by mistake. So we don't want to hit that. And we want to blend a group, but we want to blend all the groups. So you'll go into your window, and to blend all the groups is the right button of your mouse. And what it does is it merges the geometry of the homes into the drawing, and they become part of your drawing. I want you to read in at this stage, beginning step 8. Again, reminder, don't say yes that you want to update the file when you read in the new file. And what we're going to do is work on lots using those phantom lines to pass through. So we're going to set up and activate the lot layer. So we're going to work on lots, zoom in this area, and then we're going to press geometry and intersect. And what you're going to do is snap to the south boundary line. It'll prompt will ask for the reference line, and then snap to those two temporary lines using the left button, and it will set points on those lines. Then you'll hit escape. And then what you'll do is hit intersect again, in this case the south right-of-way line, and then you'll see a circle on that. There's actually two places where that line intersects. The other place is off the screen, so you want to select the circle. So align any intersection with the arc. There's two answers, so you have to go close to the circle on the screen, which is the nearest circle anyhow, and press the left button again. Same thing as we snap to the right-of-way line. So we'll snap to the mouse button using the right button. We're already in layer 3. We're going to make a line, so you'll hit make line. Go and snap to that existing point. The existing point will pass a line through it. Same thing here. Existing point, you'll do the middle button for a new line. Existing point, pass the lot line through, and then you'll hit escape. I'm going to show you something a little bit different. I'm going to go to geometry, intersect this line with this arc, snap twice, and this line. The reason I did that, and I'll go to layer 3, and pass that line through, is because what I did was give this person here a little bit more side yard and use the garage side as the parallel. I'm going to change the lot color to red and give it a little bit thicker so you could see it, and then I'm going to change the character of the annotation to an Arial. I'll type in part of the word ARI, change it to a 5 so it's smaller, and then regular. And so that'll be annotated now with something that's a little bit more pleasant to see. I'm also going to change the annotation here by snapping the lower line. I'm going to do the same thing, that I'm going to change that to a 5, and so now the annotation's 5, snap to it, and change that to a distance on top, not bearing in distance. So now I've got a distance. So I'll do the same thing here. This one I'm going to snap to these two. This one I'm going to snap to this, but I don't know which side of the arc I'm on. So I'm going to find offset from here to here, and I could see that this point is 4 foot on the right side of this line if I intersect. So what I'm going to do is then use this curve. So I'm going to snap to this line, and know I'm going to intersect in that curve, and then this point down here. So now I'm going to pass those lines through. What I've done is on the living side of the home, I've given these people extra lot space. Same thing here. I'm going to parallel this one, and what I might do here is simply do 90-degree or radial, and then use the right button, snap to this, and then I can extend, and you'll see in drafting, if you hit extend this south line to there, and then it resets that line. Then what I'm going to do is snap to these two outside of arcs, and actually while I'm at it, this one on the other side, and I'm going to annotate that with a dimension on the outside of the arc. And again, you could see on layer 0, what I'd want to do is activate that, or I'm sorry, that's layer 2 right away, and then change that to Arial, ARI, and then a 5 in a regular. And then that gets it consistent. And then on this side, it would be on the outside of the arc. So then what I do is I have all of those dimensions and those numbers, and then all I have to do then afterwards is once I get them, I want to clean up the data by deleting unused points or just pressing U, make sure there are no other points in memory. And in this case there weren't any. Then what I'm going to do is geometry and a split these dimensions here. So now I've got the dimensions on the outside here. And in this one I just have to change that. It's from a bearing distance on top to a distance on top, and then I've also have to change everything on layer 0, which I changed one line to character size of 5 and a regular, and then everything's consistent. So that is essentially taking and creating these lots. The front setback line along that, and I'm just going to then again create an annotation style, Arial, ARI, and I'm going to use italic, narrow italic, and make those 5, and I'm going to make them red. So I've changed my annotation of my layers, and now make line, and then where those points intersect, I've got lines, and then just say I'll default them distance on top, and then those are my minimums. See, 76-foot minimum. So what we're doing is we've set up an easy way to create lot lines and all of the detail by creating our work at the beginning and creating a game plan. So what does the split function tell you when the annotation is redistributed? What the split function does is if that point is within 6 decimal places of the relationship of the line, in other words, on the line or the curve, it will split it. If it doesn't split, you've got a geometric mistake. So that's how you can tell if these points are right. So you've learned using points to determine a rough radius and relationships. And then the plan geometry is used. In other words, a drawing is what you're using to allow decisions for nice rounded curves. Then you built the center line that tied to the west boundary, and you did a fillet, and you learned the temporary layer is used to create intersecting lot corners and lines. You learned the split feature automatically re-annotates. After you're done with all of the front setbacks and the lot lines and everything, what you want to do is erase layer, the phantom line layer, which in this case was layer 13. And we didn't do that here, but that's what you'd want to do. What I want you to do now, again, don't save what you got in memory away, is read step 9. And when you pull up step 9, you'll see we've already done the lot lines and the setbacks. Now this uses a method called coving. With coving, we'd never get closer than the minimum setback, minimum front, side, or rear yards, but we're able to pick up efficiencies by pulling away and creating bigger yard space. So in other words, look at all the homes on that cul-de-sac. First, the cul-de-sac is bigger than standard, slightly. So a fire engine can turn around easily, a bigger radius than a smaller one, and the homes are set back, further back. So we've nearly doubled the amount of homes that would be on a standard 50 or 60 foot radius and created a lot more homes without losing density. Again, read Proverbia, it will explain that. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in lot numbers. So go to drafting and then text, and what you'll want to do is increment, put the number 1 in the text, increment by 1, and then once you start with 1 and increment by 1, you'll press submit, and you'll simply start in the 1 lot and this left button until you get to the end lot. It'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to lot 14. It's as simple as that, and hit escape. Then once you have the lots numbered, what we're going to do is activate only the right-of-way lot line and boundary layers. Those are the only layers that define the lots. So you'll press layer, and the easiest way to do that, we've got layers 0, 2, and 3, is simply put 0, 2, 3 in the box, the layers are set, and hit set only, and the screen will refresh with only the lot layers. Because there's so much going on, you don't want to snap to the wrong information. So we're going to create lot surfaces. We're going to go into surface. We already have a lot name in the fills. So what you'll do is you'll press the mouse right button on by name, because again that's a trick, and it will pull up the existing fill names, and you'll see lot. So you'll double click on lot or hit lot and done, and then simply take and snap into lots 1, 2, 3, 4. Do get careful, because you can get awfully fast with this and start getting sloppy. Still take the time to make sure you're in the lot. Hit the left button, and as you move, they will verify closure by filling and just snap into all the lots. It should take, really, once you get moving and you get used to the software, it takes maybe 5 or 10 seconds total. And after the last lot, hit escape. It's that simple. So what is our tolerance for error? What does it look at when it assigns these surfaces? So what do you think the tolerance for error is? And the answer is there is no tolerance for error. It's either right or it's wrong. There's only one point there because we don't have point numbers in memory. We are dealing with coordinate geometry that takes a location on the surface of the earth. So one location where that point is, and then what it does is it fuses those lines together, so there is no difference. So you'll want to press layer, and in this case what we want to do is we want to set only layer 11 this time, which is our curb. So we're going to fill in the street. So we're going to do set only, and you'll see only the curb. Now we need a closed shape to create a surface. So we're going to go temporary into activate layer 13, but it's not active, so it's going to ask you if you really wanted to activate it. So answer yes. Zoom on the area shown so you can see the street a little bit better. You'll go to geometry, hit make line, and then you'll hit the right button on the mouse to begin a line at the end. The right button again, it will create a line, and then use the middle button to create a new line. And then what you want to do is the point of reverse curves, do the same thing on those ends. Mouse middle button, and then right and right, not the left, because the left sets a new point, and then hit escape, and you'll see those lines on your screen. So we have two closed areas for the surface. Now why did we do that with the point of reverse curves? Because if we didn't do that, the island would be filled. You have a hole inside that surface area, the pavement surface area. So we have to split it off into two separate areas. So we'll right click again by name. This time go into pave, either double click it or click it and then hit done. and then just go into the pavement. You'll see a concrete type texture. Once you do that on those two pieces, hit escape and just snap into those areas, and then you're done with the lots and the pavement. So what we're going to do is we're going to erase those three temporary lines. So we'll delete all elements by layer under the edit. You'll select that, and then you're going to move layer 13 over to the right box and then hit done. It'll ask if you want to remove those three elements. Say OK. So does erasing lines and arcs also erase the points on the lines and arcs? Well, no, because if it did, it would have a domino effect, erase the lines that are connected to those and those lines and those lines. So it only erased the lines and arcs. How many polylines did we generate today? Because in CAD, to do all of this work, you would have literally thousands of polylines at this point. None. And so that's important. It's important because we are using the physical lines and arcs to create areas. Press Q. That's a quick way to turn all your layers back on. Remember, we mentioned that before. Refresh your screen, and then we're back to this point. So a review, you place the main emphasis on the living experience, not the lots. Use temporary lines representing the minimum distances to set guides for your lot lines. Use the precision of the drawing to redimension and annotate. And you learned how to define areas by name, which used to be query.